The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosinzia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios and sponsored by international award-winning author Mia Mosinzia of Missing. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 40 podcast platforms, as well as hamiltonradio.net, Diamonds FM, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We can be heard in over 100 countries, featuring over 1,000 well-known and amazing guests throughout the globe. And named one of the top 100 global podcasts in the New York Weekly Times, Hollywood Entertainment News, Los Angeles Weekly Times, Apple, and Chartable. So sit back and relax and enjoy another great episode of the award-winning Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios and brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosinzia Missing, available on Amazon and paperback in ebook. We're here with a terrific singer-songwriting duo from Nashville, Tennessee. They have numerous top 5 hits and also finalists in Henderson, Tennessee's Got Talent. And we have a lady who's in grad school in music, and another wonderful lady in animation and filmmaking in college, and another wonderful lady who's heading the whole group, and she's part of the Writer's Corner special needs TV show, and also an author of 3 books as well, too. And we'll be talking about some of their singles like Openwhen, Clearly, You Shine, ranging from anywhere from 1 to 5 in the world and Euro charts and indie charts as well. We'll be talking about the song Breathein, live, ladies and gentlemen, Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Nashville, Tennessee. The amazing singer-songwriter duo from Nashville, numerous top 5 hits, and also got the amazing author and also very talented bunch, ladies and gentlemen, Elizabeth, Lily, and of course we got Mary, best known as the sistersj. Guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Well, it's great to have you guys on board as well, too. So, Elizabeth and Lily, you guys are a singing-songwriter duo from Nashville, Tennessee. You had numerous top 5 hits and finalists in Henderson, Tennessee's Got Talent. And Elizabeth, you're a grad school in music. And Lily, you're also attending college in animation and filmmaking. And of course, we also got Mary, who founded the Writer's Corner special needs TV show, and also an author as well, too, of 3 amazing books, and a certified, coach and specialist and advocate for the disabled and everything else. And we'll be talking about the new single Breathe as well, too, on all over the charts. And before getting to all that, tell us how y'all first got started.
So we've been doing music for a long time. It's just been something that's been very prevalent in our lives. And when I say that, I'm talking specifically about Lily and I, but Mom was very instrumental, but I'm in that. She raised us on classical music and also the wonderful decade that is the 80s. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where, me personally, I found such a love for classical music. I know Lily as well. And then we did theater and choir and band and all the other things. But I think we really got our start when it comes to like recording and putting music out after Mom wrote her first children's book, and her writing partner wrote 10 songs for her book. And she wanted Lily and I to record the songs. And so we recorded them in Thornton Klein's little recording studio, and that was back in 2015, I believe. Yeah. And I remember both of us being like, whoa, this was a really cool experience. Mm-hmm. And maybe we could actually do this. And those 10 songs are on Spotify if you want to listen to them.
Mm-hmm. Amazon Music, really anywhere they're distributed wherever music's streamed. So
yes, it's really cool to go back to our foundation to see just how far we've come and how our voices have grown as well. But through connections, we found our producer Ted Thiel Perlman, and we have recorded 4 songs.
Well, actually,
yes,
9 if you count all the Christmas songs.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We just did a little Christmas EP this past holiday season. And so it's been a really cool experience to kind of see. That's the short answer to your question. There's so much time has passed, but I think that's where it all really began, recording wise. We've been singing together for a long time, just trying to figure things out. I've written for a long time. Mom has written poetry for a long time, and I love that. And she's an author, and so is Lily. Lily's really, she's a good author. And I remember writing a song, and I was like, Lily, come over here. I need you to help me with this. And we just kind of experimented and figured things out. And that kind of all happened within the same 2-year time period. And then it's just kind of taken off since then.
Oh my gosh, what a journey you guys have been. And Mary and Lily, is there anything you guys want to add as well? Feel free to jump in anytime.
I feel like our voices where they first started growing was when we did musical theater. I was 9 when I had my first show, and Elizabeth was 11, and we've been doing musical theater since then. And that's kind of where we found our singing voices, especially when it comes to blending with others and finding counter melodies and stuff. Because there's so many parts in the ensemble of musical theater. It's incredible. We also had that through choir, and then throughout
praise and worship at church.
Praise and worship at church. We used to perform for the middle school.
You would lead praise and worship for the kids.
We led praise and worship for them. Also with Mom's book signings, her first book signings for the children book that we recorded the songs for, we would sing at the book signings and perform in the library, which was a lot of fun. I remember doing that. That's kind of where we started. And her writing partner also helped us get a lot of connections. And it's actually through him that we met Ted. And I remember we first recorded something. It was for some song. I forgot what it was. Why Ted was there, why they were recording.
Oh, it was for the so Ted and Thornton, we are co-writers together. But actually Thornton and Elizabeth and I wrote their first song we released almost 2 years ago. Gosh, I can't even believe it. June will be 2 years. But Thornton wrote a song for a music festival in China. And it was a world festival. And so he wrote this song, and the girls, we all went to Thornton's house. Ted was the producer to record, and Lily and Elizabeth were there, and they had a small choir of children because they wanted children's voices in it. So the girls were a part of that. And that was aired at some huge, ginormous global music festival that was held in China. And that was pre-pandemic? No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Before the pandemic?
No.
During?
No.
After?
Kind of in the middle of after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, sometime in there. And so that's where, it would have had to have been, it had to be over 2 years ago, almost 3 now, because that's where we met Ted. But the girls got to be a part of that. And then that's how we were introduced to Ted. And he came to our house, and they sat down and went through some music. Elizabeth showed him some things that she had written, and he fell in love with several pieces. And then he kind of hounded us for about 6 months before we were able to really start them, recording with him. But he just, he never gave up. So
that's also because we were both in school at the time, which we still are. But
he's still upset about that. I'm like, I'm going to college.
I know.
I got to get my degree.
Yeah, I know. He said, no, you guys got to quit school and you got to just focus on music for an entire year. But the girls are in the midst of college and they want to finish,
And that's a really good point as well too. And of course, you guys are talking about music. Who are some of your favorite singers, musicians, and songwriters growing up? So you guys can just whoever wants to start, jump in.
They have a wide variety of, all the way from the orchestral. You've got your Tchaikovsky and Bach and all those folks. And then you have all the 80s stuff that they grew up with.
Yeah.
And then you have all the rock and the folk and you've got Christian. There's just a whole mix in there.
There's a lot of artists that we collectively like. I have a playlist that has every genre on it imaginable, and it's like 13 hours long. But
Wow.
I love all
Good
music.
playlist.
It's a fun playlist. I mean, but when we were younger, like Elizabeth can tell you more. She remembers more than I do. I don't remember names all that well, but I remember the music.
Well, they grew up with Hannah Montana, and they grew up with Selena Gomez. And of course, Taylor Swift has been, an inspiring artist. And I know of late, actually more now than ever, I think for Elizabeth, definitely. Right, babe?
Yes, I've taken a lot of inspiration from her early music and then some of the later stuff. But then I also really like Adele, and I love Foo Fighters, which are two separate genres. But
ABBA.
I love both of those genres. Oh, ABBA, yes. But then it's also just the art of songwriting. It's sometimes,
and then we have Andrea Bocelli.
It's hard to...
So
yeah.
yeah.
Or the Oh Hellos.
Oh Hellos.
I love
Oh Hellos. Oh, that's an interesting name.
Oh, you'll have to listen to their music.
It's a Christian folk band. I love their music. It's really good.
Nice. Very nice.
I do too.
So it's funny because the music that the girls love and then the music that they write is almost completely different. It's a lot more folksy, and it sort of has we really haven't found the genre that's really them, but we've taken the three songs that are out right now, beside the other than the Christmas ones, but they were all very slow, and then Ted has come and produced them, and they're much more upbeat. They're very much more commercial and poppy, like especially Breathe In.
Right. And of course that's as well too. And of course, let's focus on some careers as well too, if we're getting to music. And Elizabeth, you're a grad school in music as well too. And tell us about that, and how's that coming so far?
Grad school definitely can be scary, 100%, but it's been a really, really cool experience so far. My undergraduate degree is in instrumental music education. I started playing the clarinet when I was 11, and I fell in love with it, and I still do play it today. That's what I'm doing in school right now. And originally I had wanted to be a performer because I love performing and I love sharing my passion for music with other people, because music brings people together. And when I was I think it was a junior or a senior in high school, I was tutoring some sixth graders on clarinet and saxophone as well, because I also play saxophone. And I remember just seeing their eyes light up when they finally got something, and then they continued playing and they were so excited. And that really changed my perspective on things, because it reminded me of what I was like when I was that age. I was so excited to play music and to learn more. Now, not every student is that way.
Right. Yeah, of course. Everybody learns different in certain periods and all that. We all learn different growing up. You guys learn different growing up, and everybody has their own pace, basically. So.
Absolutely. That's something that I keep very close to me, because I mean, like you said, we all learn differently, and Lily and I experience that a lot, as do a lot of people, but I try to keep that in mind just when it comes to teaching, because you could explain something one way and they don't get it, but if you change just a little bit, then they might understand it so much better. But that really changed my perspective on things, and so I went to school for music ed, and I love it, and now I am in grad school for clarinet performance to just really refine learning more about my instrument and how to perform it better and how to teach it better. And not only clarinet, but other instruments that I know how to play, as well as voice, because Lily and I, we did theater, we did choir as well. And I really I do too much. I've always done way too many things, but I just have been so passionate about a lot of things in life. And So it seems to be a reoccurring theme within our family. But I think it's very important to have experiences in different areas in life, because then you can kind of bring those all together and you have different perspectives from different areas of life. And that's kind of what we're trying to do with the whole thing that we've got going on, is we've got a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And that's why I feel it's very different from a lot of things that are out there. And I really like that.
And certainly as well too, and of course, and Lily is contributing as well too. And Lily, you're in animation and filmmaking in college, and you create the openwhen cover and Excel's salutation salutatorian at graduation, earning solos as well too. And tell us more about your role, and how's college coming so far for you?
It's going good. I'm in my sophomore year. I came to this path after it's a long story. But I've been drawing since I was 18 months old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's what Mom says.
Yeah.
And that when I was younger, I could not speak clearly. I had a speech impediment, and I did not speak clearly until I was 4 years old. And I believe art was a way that I could express myself without having to speak or trying to communicate, because it was a way I could communicate. And it's also an amazing outlet, along with all the other creative outlets that Mom has exposed me and Elizabeth to help us process anything that we're going through. It's why I feel like that's why I have a foot in every creative outlet, is because of that. But it's everywhere. But I realized as I grew older that I loved seeing the stories throughout each and every creative outlet. Like dancing, you could dance the story. You hear the story through music. You see it in an art piece or a photo, like a painting. And I always loved that. And I was like, that's amazing. And what was it, around 6th grade, I decided I wanted to write a story about, it's just sci-fi fantasy, but I made the decision. I wanted to do it as a comic originally, but it was so much that I was like, Mom one day was like, Lily, just write it down. And I was like, okay.
Well, let me preface it. For years, when we get in the car, and Elizabeth can attest to this, get in the car or something, she would have more to the story. So for years, we were listening to this continual story, but we were trying to remember what was told to us before. And so I kept saying to her, and finally one day I just made her do it. I was like, baby, it's you got to get this out of your head, and you've got to get this on to use Mom's laptop, whatever, what I write on, and get it out of your head. No, it's okay in my head. No, you have to get it out of your head. And so when she sat down finally, I think 10 chapters just, and she's just been going since.
Yeah, it's 550 pages now. I'm looking for a publisher. Yeah. I had something on my mind. I forgot what it was. But
it's really cool to see you come from A to B.
Yeah.
To see where you were, and now you've got this book.
Well, she was a child who, because of her language delay, she had a language reading comprehension issue, a challenge. So that, she didn't know the words to be able to comprehend them, to be able to understand the story. And that is a challenge for most people who have language delays. So for her to become full circle now and be this writer, for any parent struggling out there or child struggling out there with this kind of thing, there is hope. You can overcome these things in life, which is, really a wonderful gift to be able to do that.
When I was younger, when I was dealing with the comprehension and the reading comprehension stuff, I was like, I'm never going to write a book. Kind of happened.
And look what happens now.
Yes,
I know, right?
And I'm in college right now as an animation major because I want to eventually turn it into a TV show.
Oh, nice. Okay. And speaking of animation and everything, and right, who are some of your favorite cartoons, comics, and especially authors growing up?
Ooh. I have to say, for animation, the original Atlantis and Disney's Atlantis and Treasure Planet, those, I don't know why, I loved the animation in those films. And one of the guys that worked on those films is actually one of my professors.
Oh, nice.
Really cool. And I'm like, you animated my childhood. It's really cool. I'm really excited to be here with them. When it comes to authors, like for books, when I was a kid, the only books that I actually liked reading was Narnia and C.S. Lewis. I loved those stories. They clicked a lot with me. Um, I also
C.S.
read
Lewis
a
is a
lot
good
of,
author.
I read graphic novels as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's two series that I have like the actual physical copy of that I'm reading. And then I'm also reading a lot on it's an app called Webtoon. It has a bunch of comics that you can put out. I actually have one of my own on there. It's only 6 episodes, but that's all I have right now.
It's still pretty cool.
I would like to check those out as well too. And of course, let's come to the matriarch of the whole operation. We have Maryejackson as well too, and you're also an author and also special needs advocate, certified coach, and also a children disability advocate as well too. You're part of the Writers Company. You started that as well as Special Needs, a TV show. You also author 3 books, The Wonder of Me and Cheers from Heaven. And tell us how you got started.
Well, the advocacy journey started actually when Elizabeth was born. I always say for moms, it starts when you get pregnant because you have to be the advocate, to take care of the child and eat well and all those things. And so when Elizabeth was born, she had some texture sensitivities and some sensory stuff, but the pediatrician was like, "Oh, she'll be fine. She'll outgrow it." And this was,
No, she didn't.
I know it was like 23 years ago. And then when Lily came along, and Lily had a whole set of things going on for her that I really didn't know anything about. I was really green. And even though I'd had a daycare and I had helped raise my brothers, I'd been around kids my whole life. It was very natural for me with children. This was a whole different ball game, and it's can be a very lonely road for a family or a parent or a caregiver. And so I had to learn how to be an advocate for my child who couldn't talk. I mean, literally, I had to teach Lily her alphabet through sound and singing because it was like teaching her own language because she couldn't speak English. She would do what's called cluttering.
Mm-hmm.
If she made any sound, that was it, or yelling because when a child is nonverbal or they're not able to communicate, a lot of times yelling is how they will communicate because they don't feel heard. So at 2.5, she was diagnosed at like having an 18-month-old level of development. And so then started OT, occupational therapy and speech. And therapists coming into the home, and then we had to put her in a special state program, and that was specifically classroom for that, for everything that she needed. And so it just changes your whole life. And so as we went along, there were things that happened, and I had to learn how to be the advocate that she needed. That's my job as her mother. So every adult out there who is a parent, it is your job to be your child's advocate, no matter what shape that comes in, because even though Elizabeth didn't have the same needs that Carson and Lily have had, my son and Lily have had in their life, she had some needs that I was able to then transfer what I'd learned and to be able to apply to help her when she went to college over something. Because she went to college, she had a significant surgery that was not expected before college. And so we had to go and, we had to go to the disability office at school, and they were not ADA compliant, which is disability compliant. So they built a ramp for her at her dorm, had to change her dorm room, classroom, extended time, things like that. So, when I'm speaking about these kind of things, whenever the opportunity happens, one of my main things I tell people is, you've got to educate yourself, definitely, whatever diagnosis is of your child or even yourself, right? What if you have cancer? Whatever it might be, knowledge is power. And it takes you from a place of feeling like a victim to a victor. And it helps your child to get to that place too, because nobody wants anything wrong with them or what the world may say is wrong. So then after Lily went through a situation that I ended up, my journey became even more because I sought to change law in the state we live in. Then when my son was born and had lots of issues that some were same, some were different, then my journey, you know, it took another turn. And so that's kind of how my advocacy journey has come about. But I've been able to take what I've learned in my training and help, you know, a couple libraries here locally we have, and in Nashville have sensory rooms for kids, and they're more sensory friendly for children to come in, because a lot of times parents won't take their kids with sensory issues into a library because it's either a child can't be quiet or it's too overwhelming, you know? So my author journey also began with my children after my son was born. I always say it was the divine download, the first book. And I sat on it for a couple of years, and I was introduced to Thornton, and he read what I wrote and fell in love with it. Said, "Can I write 10 songs?" And I said, "Yes." And, you know, when I listened to that nudging to do something with it, to believe in myself, then all these doors began opening up. And to have my girls, you know, like his face is on the cover of the book. It is called the Inspired Kids series now. And all 3 books are out, and they've all had 4 and 5-star reviews of you know, people's favorites. They're great first readers. But what I do with them is I teach children empowering words. So positive language from very early to, you know, growing up. And it's really important to me. I think if we teach kids positive language, teach them tools how to self-regulate, we're going to cut down on bullying, depression, anxiety, and kids thinking that suicide is their only option, because it should never be an option for anybody.
And that's a very good point as well, too. And of course, you know, talking about music, you know, writing the songs and everything, we'll be talking about some of the music like You Shine Through, Clearly, Open When, and also the latest Breathe In. We'll be playing the audio version of the interview with sistersj. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. SonicWeb Studios is the answer. SonicWeb Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews. And Evil Evan enjoys by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassie, Forrest Riley, and Eminems. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com or 40 podcast platforms. Heard in 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, also Odyssey, Apple Music, BitChute, Rumble, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe as well, too. Follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, Threads, also on Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Take us with you on any mobile device. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies. Makes great gifts 24/7, 365. Go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also T-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today. And support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We're here with amazing singer-songwriting duo from Nashville, Tennessee, the sisters J, Elizabeth, and Lily Jackson, along with the matriarch Maryejackson of the Writers Corner and Special Needs TV on the Mike Wagner Show. And let's talk about some of the music you guys had on the charts, ranging from #1 to #5 in the Euro, Indie, and World charts as well, too. Let's start with You Shine Through, that came out as a, sort of a debut, and tell us more about that.
That song is a cover of a song that's already been done, but we did that.
The video released in 2019.
Right. I remember filming it fall break of my we filmed it in 2018.
Right. It was released in May of 2019, like right after you got out of school for the semester. I remember you and I were sitting in the living room watching the debut of the video.
Yes. Um, and that was the first time we recorded in a fairly large professional studio, which is where the video was filmed as well. And it is a praise and worship song, and it's something that I know we hold very dear to our hearts just because the message is so uplifting. And like if I need to hear something uplifting, a lot of times I'll go back and listen to that, not necessarily because it's our voices, but just because of what is it? The message. I tried to say two things at once. The message that
It's okay.
Hey, if it works, right, babe?
You got it.
I guess. But I actually went back and watched it again the other day, and it's so cool to see how far we have come since then. And that's back when Lily was shorter than me. Now she's taller than me.
Now who's the short one?
That would be me. Because you guys are
well, you grew with knowledge. That's the whole thing. You grew with knowledge.
I grew with knowledge. There we go. They grew, yes.
Absolutely. She's very, very wise. But I remember neither of us knew the song before we went into the studio, because our producer at the time didn't want us to have a predetermined sound to it before we went into the studio, which I had forgotten about that. And so, Lily, do you want to add anything? I don't want to take.
I just remember going into the studio to record. It's this big room, right? And we were the only person in there. Like Elizabeth had recorded first, and then I recorded my bit over hers. And I just remember being like, what were the words again? And then like having the actual good mic and the actual good headphones, and then like just you barely moving your mouth and it hearing every sound possible coming, and you just blasting it in your earphones. I was like, this is so weird, but it's really cool.
It was very
a really cool experience. And when we did the music video, everyone was in there and stuff. There was a smoke machine. Like the recording studio itself, the area is also, I guess, technically a stage too, which was like, that is so cool. And everything was purple.
Well, because this studio used to be the Trinity Broadcast, the Christian.
TBN, right? That was their
yes.
That was the studio. Amazing.
This was a studio. This was one of the original studios that it's in Gallatin, so it's about 20 minutes from here. And now they're in a much bigger place. But that's why everything was purple. It's purple everywhere.
It was really cool though.
I mean, it's the best color.
I know, right? We love purple.
It's my favorite color.
Royally it is. Yes.
She said, "I'm not biased at all." Yeah. Just kidding. Anyways.
No, the next song, Open When, didn't come out until 2 years ago this summer in June. So that would be
2022.
Yeah. Yep. And then we released Open When then, which Elizabeth and Thornton and I wrote together. And then we released Clearly in October of 2022. And then we released Breathe in June of this last year. And then the Christmas songs in December. And we have their fourth song ready, called Creeks and Rivers, which, oh gosh, it's so beautiful. But we think we want to re-record it to be just their voices and a guitar, to be very organic. So I think that's what we may do. But then a friend of ours who has a radio station in Seattle, Washington, who's a huge fan, it wants to sponsor the girls to record a cover of Wind Beneath My Wings.
Nice. That's a classic.
Yeah, very, very much a classic. Actually, the writer of the song lives in Nashville.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is something. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And of course, let's get back to Open When and Clearly as well too. Tell us a bit more about those songs and what inspired all you guys to write them.
So Open When Clearly was written before Open When, but we decided to go ahead and write that one. I remember sitting at Panera with my mother and with Thornton, and we were trying to come up with something because I asked Thornton, like, what makes a song a hit song. I actually used him for a project that I did in my ethnomusicology class, And he said most hit songs, if you listen, have relatable content in them, something that people can grab onto, being like, oh, I know what that's like, or I have, kind of something like that. So we wrote a song about love in various forms.
Based on true story from Elizabeth's life.
Yes. So open when letters are like, I received, okay, hold on. Let me back up. When one of my friends graduated from high school, a lot of us put a bunch of letters in a box for them to take to college with them. And so they had a little piece of home, but they were all different, like open when you need a hug, open when you're having boy troubles, open when blah, 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 things like that.
Oh, so it's open when blank. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I never thought of it.
Which I love that concept because you can personalize it in so many different ways. And so I made an open when box once for somebody who didn't necessarily appreciate it, but we don't have to talk about that. It came from a place in my life. And then when I went off to college, a lot of times Mom would send me open when letters in the mail, which was very sweet, especially because I was 3 hours away. I couldn't go home all the time. But so we figured, what if we put that in a song? I don't think anybody's done that. And so the song is like open when you need a new song, open when you forget where you belong, open when you want to feel closer to me. So it could be a love song for somebody, like in a romantically, platonically, a family member, because writing a letter is so much more genuine a lot of the time and takes so much more time than like sending a text or calling, which is also really genuine, but writing a letter is different. So that's where that song came from. And Lily did the artwork for the cover, which is really cool. We have our own in-house illustrator, which is awesome.
Yeah, I do most of the covers. Open When is the only one that we actually that I actually did the entire drawing for. The other covers were a photo we took, and then I put all the words together. And
yeah, we have a friend who's a photographer, and she took the pictures, and then so I just send it to her. We make the decision, and then it goes to the artist here to
make it into an album cover.
Yeah, to make it into an album cover. So,
but my inspiration for Open When, when the song, if you look at it, when we listen to it and close your eyes, the colors that we see, me and Elizabeth, are like pink mainly. And that was the background I chose.
Orange and yellow.
Yeah, that was the background I chose, but I drew like a character that resembled Elizabeth writing the letters, because I remember when she made that box one time, and there was like papers everywhere. She was on the floor. I was like, what are you doing?
Was that the open when letters, or was that the post-it notes?
No, they were the open when
post-it
notes,
notes?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
At least that's what I remember. And that's what I wanted to do for the cover. And yeah, that's where that came from.
I think the same thing about the song Open When. How about open when you win the lottery?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Never gets open.
I would want to open that.
Yeah, right. It's the one letter that's left in the box they don't open. It's got
there you go. I think that's it.
The notes inside, wow, you actually opened this? Congratulations.
And of course, we can all see clearly on that one, and a bit more about that one.
There we go.
That song I wrote in 2016. That was around the time when I had a ton of inspiration, and a lot of our songs came out around then. That's when Lily and I were just kind of like, boom, we're doing all of this, and we have ideas for things. But I wrote that song as a 16-year-old girl who was very much in love with somebody at the time. And like we've said in the past, we like to leave our songs open to the interpretation of our audience, because as Dave Grohl said, you can sing a song to 10,000 people and they'll sing it back to you for 10,000 different reasons, which I think is really beautiful.
I like that.
But I do too. So it's a love song, but like Open When, it could also be very platonic, because people come into your lives and sometimes they help you see clearly in various forms. But it's a very sweet song I think it's one of my favorites that we've kind of put together. And I remember when it was in its infancy, was before we recorded it with Ted, and Lily and I took turns on the verses and kind of like did more things together, because Lily used to just sing oohs. We called her the ooh girl for a while.
And I had found counter melodies to the song, and I didn't know what words to sing with it, but like that's kind of what went with it.
It was beautiful, and like the original way that it was, the oohs really, really added to it. And we added a little bit of that in the final song, the final song. And I remember, I'm trying to think, like we said, Lily and I, like a lot of times, music can be hard to describe because it's music. Music is the description itself, but we use a lot of colors to describe feelings in music. And with Clearly, we see a lot of greens, blues, and so we kind of try to reflect that in our in the album, and the picture that was taken of us really reflected that. Lily, do you want to add anything else?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry. I remember
you're good.
when you, like, first wrote Clearly. That was around the time you were teaching me harmonies, and you're like, Lily, all you have to do is sing 3 notes above this, and I was like, okay. And then something clicked. I don't know what it was, but something clicked, and I was able to find harmonies, and it's kind of just grown from there, where I can sing with Elizabeth almost anything, and I will sing the harmony to it, even if it doesn't already exist.
A lot of times we'll switch.
Yeah, we'll switch.
I accidentally sing her line.
But then I can switch to hers, and it's fine.
It's fun singing with somebody for so long because you learn their tendencies, and then you can kind of bounce off of what they do, almost like you're predicting what they'll do next. It's really fun singing with her because I can't do that with anybody else.
And of course, moms should know as well.
She's so good.
No, I'm so proud of my girls, and just the opportunities that have come and where they're taking their gifts and talents and utilizing them in a way that they're trying to make the world a better place. It's not just about them like, oh, I want everyone looking at me or paying attention to me. It's not about that, because like they don't even really talk to their friends about their music. Like they're not surrounded by a group of friends that are like, oh, it's more like I'm the one saying, tell your friends to vote for you, tell your friends to download your song, and they're like, Mom,
and tell their two friends, so on. That's how word of mouth gets around. Yeah, don't be afraid. Tell them, get their 2 friends. That's all you have to do. 1, 2.
I know. I will text their friends. Buy the song right now, please. Okay.
I remember
the girls are like, I don't want to say anything, Mom.
I remember going to college and like with my new friend group and be like, hey guys, so like, because she had told me to tell them, and I was like, but they don't know anything. The only thing they knew was Lily's an artist, and I'm like, I kind of wanted to keep it that way.
So let me tell you what I did. Okay.
Oh my word.
It's easy for me to promote them, right? Because they're my girls, because it's not me. I'm promoting them and I'm so proud. But for her birthday last year,
2 years ago,
there's a whole group of them, and I'm meeting them for the first time. And I'm like, okay, before we get in the car and go anywhere, because we went to a couple different places, I said, everybody pull your phone out, go here and download the song right now.
I can barely watch the music video on the fact that me and Elizabeth had a song out.
And they were shame.
What? And Mom explained everything. They're like, that's so cool. I'm like, I didn't say anything.
That was a nice birthday gift. Got to say that. Happy birthday.
I mean,
it was a fun birthday. It was really cool.
Crazy.
Yeah.
There's so many.
And oh my gosh. It was a lot of fun, but yeah, I just, I don't know, it's easier to promote. Then I am their manager and momager and, PR and marketing and all that stuff. But, then I also have to do my own stuff as well. I have I've been doing a live stream show for 5.5 years. It's about to join a TV network, which is just amazing gift because of so many years of putting into this. And we interview authors all over the globe. And then my cover to cover, which was a podcast for a year I've been doing with a PR company, is now gone on to Brushwood Network, Brushwood Media Network. So every Saturday, 12 to 12:30 on that network, you can hear that show, which is really cool. You know, and it's nice to see things you've worked really hard out for a long time or written and created come to fruition. I mean, that's, you know, it doesn't happen all the time. And sometimes it takes many, 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 many years for things to happen and come to fruition.
That certainly is true as well, too. Now, everybody can breathe in. Before we do that, we'll get to that part with the Sisters J. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios, and brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Moses They're Missing. We'll be back with Elizabeth and Lilyjackson of Sisters J with Breathe In after this time out.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Ray Powers, and boy, are you in luck. Right place, right time. Tuned in to the Mike Wagner Show. You heard me.
We're back with Sisters J, Elizabeth, and Lilyjackson, along with Maryejackson, the children's disability advocate and author, and talk about the song Breathe In here on the Mike Wagner Show. We'll be playing at the end of the audio interview, so make sure you go to that and tell us more about Breathe In and what inspired you guys to write it.
It's a beautiful song.
So much that can be said for this song. I remember it was in that same year, 2016. I don't know what it was about that year.
It was a good year. Hey, it was pre-pandemic, so it was a good year.
Hey, 2016 was a good year. I remember. I want to say it was probably during the summer, but it probably wasn't. I don't know. I remember wanting to write a lullaby, like for people struggling with anxiety and stress, which, you know, everybody struggles with stress and anxiety at some point. And so the words just kind of came to me. I really don't know where they came from. And Lily helped me finish it. It was like one of those, Lily, get over here. Help me with see what you hear. Because I hear something, but I need you to see if you can experiment with these chords with me and see what else you can hear. But the more we worked on it, the more that I really, really do believe that these words came from God, because it's taken me a couple years to, I don't want to say psychoanalyze, but analyze the song. I remember I was in college and singing at a coffee shop. They had an open mic night, and people would go up and sing their own stuff or do covers. And a lot of times, if they were doing an original song, they would kind of give a little bit of a background. And so I did. I didn't have Lily with me, which was really sad. But I remember kind of explaining this song is supposed to be hey, just come and relax. And I really do believe that the first part of the song, it's not me singing. It's supposed to be, at least in my interpretation of it, God saying, lay your head down beside me, forget all your worries. And the moment I realized that, I have chills now thinking about it. It's like, oh, okay. And then the second half of the song, some of the lyrics are, you said you love me and I can't understand it at all. I I can't make sense of it at all. And
Mm-hmm.
in this life, God's love is really hard to make sense of because it's so vast. And I think this song really encapsulates, I can't words. It really shows just love for Christ and really encapsulates, I'm going to say the word, mine and Lily's faith. And it can be interpreted so many different ways, because if the first thing we forget to do in life when we get stressed is breathe. Mm-hmm. And so I've always remembered and thought, if I can find my footing and my foundation when things are going nuts, then maybe I can think a little bit clearer. And that's what I wanted to kind of say, hey, take this. And I know Lily does as well, because obviously, we wrote the song together, blah, 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 blah. But it's one of the things that I get slapped in the face with a lot of times, because when I'm stressed, I forget to breathe. And so I'm like, okay, God, I hear you. I hear you. Through this song, we're trying to bridge the gap between diversity and inclusivity. And so, because the original name for this song was Who You Are, because I really think we all do, I'm speaking for all of us right now, that who you are is beautiful, no matter who you are.
Right.
We're all people. And that's more of what this world needs, because we're all people. We all forget to breathe sometimes. And so in our music video, we have a lot of people from different backgrounds in the video with us, different ages, and we have children with autism and Down syndrome.
Coming together to celebrate.
Yes, coming together to celebrate life. And when at the beginning of the video, I'm contemplating life, which happens a lot. And we have a little girl who comes up, and she has Down syndrome. She's one of the sweetest human beings I've ever met in my life. And she kind of drags me into the circle. She sees that I'm stressed, and she's like, come celebrate with us. Come have fun with us. And I think that's so beautiful. Our videographer loved that. He came up with it, and we were like, yes, this is exactly what this message is portraying. And if anybody else wants to speak, go for it. Lily, if you want to talk, Mom, if you want to talk, I love this song so very much.
Oh my gosh, we love this song so much. And they actually have gotten to sing it at the iconic Bluebird in Nashville in the summertime, late summer. And it was just so exciting to have that experience and share. And even creating the video was really just the energy of it, the energy with everyone there that was with us and so supportive and participating, and really just super special. So we have reached out to different organizations like Hershey, because they have been supportive of schools and children with challenges, and also Barbie, because Barbie had just brought out the Down syndrome doll. So we really want to connect with Barbie as well. And, we're still waiting. And we just like to, we've looked for sponsorship support, that just people partnering to get this message out there, which is really, we feel really important. We're all here on the same planet. We see the same sunrise, the same sunset, the same stars. We breathe the same oxygen. So, and I think, go ahead.
And I think that's a really good point as well, too. And where can we find Breathe In and all your music at, and all your works too, Mary, especially with books?
Okay, so you can go to maryejackson.com. My books are there, some advocacy stuff's there, my shows are there. Actually, a link to the girls' music and their website is there as well. And their CD for the book, for the children's book, is on Apple Music or Amazon Music, iTunes, all that stuff. And then all of their stuff is at sistersj.com. But then their social media, sistersj music, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, we're on all of that.
Okay. All right. Well, certainly check those out as well, too. We're here with the Sisters J, talking about Breathe In and all the works on the Mike Wagner Show. And what can we expect you all in 2024 and beyond?
Hopefully our song.
Hopefully a lot of great stuff. There's
maybe more than one song. We're trying to finish either an EP or a full album to kind of put that out there. So that's what we are hoping and praying for this next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, get a book published.
I would that too. Look out for United 9 if it comes out this year
United 9,
by Lilyjackson.
Yes.
Who knows?
Oh my God, that would be so cool.
I know, so cool.
Yeah, for our next song, we think we're gonna finish Creeks and Rivers, so keep an eye out for that one. It's a good one.
Okay. We'll certainly do that as well. And who do you consider biggest influences in your careers?
Oh my goodness.
There's so many from so many genres and so many different creative outlets. There's such a long list. It's incredible.
I have, there are a couple. I really, really love John Bellion, and his music is just real and raw. It's very different, but he produces his own stuff. He just helped produce the latest Jonas Brothers album. It's really cool. Oh my goodness. I said the Foo Fighters, a really big influence. Taylor Swift in her later stuff, which sounds cliche when people say it, but she's a really good writer. The Oh Hellos.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite groups is called Set It Off. They're more alternative rock, but they play a bunch of different instruments, which I was like, oh, well, they do that. Maybe I could do all of it too. But there's so many more. Like what Lily was talking about, we both love Thomas Bergerson, who is a self-taught composer.
Love the movie scores.
The Netherlands. And there's so many.
Well, I'm sure there's more too. And Mary, how about your biggest influence in your career?
Oh my. Well, let's say, okay, so mine would be more for writing, I guess. So, I have really Dr. Seuss, I know that sounds sort of cliche too, but because of being, I write adult, but I also write children. And for my children's stuff, I just love him so much because of the wonderment. If you're going to be a children's author, anybody out there listening or watching, you've got to write from the viewpoint of the child. You cannot write as an adult trying to sound like a child. You have to get in the head of a child or be in the environment, And so I would say Dr. Seuss, and I love and I'm drawing a blank on her name right now, but she wrote Peter Rabbit, and oh my gosh, and I just love her story so much. And Jane Eyre, I love her. I love these women who in the past, it wasn't given permission for them to do it, but they did it anyways. And they broke boundaries and barriers, and they put out literary greats for all of us that we just love so much. And some of them wrote under men's names, because they weren't accepted as women, but they didn't give up on their dream. And I think that's the thing that inspires me so much, because I was 48 when I got published the first time.
Wow.
I mean, that's late in life to be published as an author, right? I mean, sometimes interviewing people for 5.5 years, I've met all kinds, and a lot of them have been corporate, and then they left corporate, and then now in their later life, they're authors. But I would say things like that are just a great inspiration to me. And I nature is a huge inspiration for me, because there's metaphors everywhere. So if I have a block, that's where I go to get my inspiration. So
okay, that's certainly interesting. And what's the best advice you all can give to anybody at this point? So take turns.
Lily, you go first.
You can go.
Grab some oxygen. It's gonna be okay.
I'd say main thing that I'd like to put out there through my stories is hope. That even if we can't see it or feel it, it is always there, and it lives inside each and every single one of us. And we can choose to shine that light for others, including ourselves.
Okay.
It's always there.
Okay. And Elizabeth, best advice?
You want me to follow up with that? That's so beautiful. I guess just do your best to remember to breathe, find your footing when things get tough. Remember why remember your why. I know that's like another cliche thing, but it goes so much deeper because things can get so fast and things can just kind of like fly by you, and then all of a sudden you're in your mid-20s and you're like, how did I get here? But then you go back, and that happens for everybody regardless of your age. If you can just remember why you do what you do, and it can be hard to stay in that mindset all the time, but if you have things in your life to keep you reminded, whether that be like objects or people, your family members, that just help remind you it's going to be okay. Just breathe and hold on to joy as best you can. It's hard in this world, especially today. But just find good people, find like-minded people.
Yeah, surround yourself with that. Yeah.
Very important. And Mary, what's the best advice you can give at this point to anybody?
Well, I would say don't give up on yourself or your dreams. Just do it. But I would say also, if there's things that need to be healed in your life, heal them. We have one life to live, right? So let's not waste time. Let's make the best of it and teach our children how to have healthy families, how to have healthy relationships, because their relationships with their siblings and their parents are their first relationships in life. So they need to learn there so they can be healthy people out in the world, and that family is one of the most important things. Not everybody's family is perfect. Everybody's got stuff, right? And some of it's really bad, but if it can be healed, heal it. Because so you're not an adult running around with wounds. We don't want to put broken people out in the world. There's enough of brokenness, right? So
even scars can heal.
Yep.
Right.
But teach our kids how to love and to be lovable and to give to the world, not take from it.
And that's very important as well. Once again, we're with Mary Jackson and Elizabeth and Lily Jackson of Sisters J here on the Mike Wagner Show. Guys, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Live have you back. Once again, what's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase, check out music, check out books, and more?
For Sisters J specifically, you can find our music just about on any streaming service platform. Like on iTunes, you can go and buy it. You can buy it on Amazon Music, Spotify, all the places where people can find music. You can find what we're doing and what we have done on our website, sistersj.com, and we're very active on our Facebook page, Sisters J Music. You can see all of where our music is being played on the radios and our gigs and other things like that. Yes.
Okay. And then Mary, Lily?
Well, Lily would be sistersj.com, but she also,
I'm a part of that.
She has her artwork. Do you want to tell people where they can see her artwork?
If you want to see my artwork, it's mainly my Instagram page, which is United9 Studios. And there's a link to that, I believe, on Sisters J. All our social medias are linked to that as well on the website.
I think so, yeah. And you can find everything about what I'm doing and things where you can buy books and things like that, and see advocacy stuff in my shows at maryejackson.com.
All right, well, certainly check those out. Guys, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Live have you back. Wish you all the best. And guys, Elizabeth, Lily, and Mary, you guys definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Blessings. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us on.
Thank you for having us.
Grateful.
It's been wonderful to talk to you.
Lay your head down beside me. Release all of your worries. Pay no mind to the things that keep you up at night.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show. Brought to you by international award-winning author Mia Mohsen-Zia of Missing, and powered by Sonic Web Studios. Be sure to join us again on over 40 podcast platforms, and of course on the MikeWagnerShow.com, HamiltonRadio.net, and Diamonds FM. Don't forget to support our program with a generous donation at the MikeWagnerShow.com. Thanks for listening.